Assalamu alaikum. Get ready for some ridiculous questions. I'm not going to ask you these ridiculous questions. In fact, I'm going to share with you these ridiculous questions that have been asked to a reverted Muslim. Reverted Muslims often face the questions in the comments from society that can be very ridiculous, and they are ridiculous. Here are some examples. Why did you choose Islam? Didn't you know it's a restrictive religion? Just focus on the words. Just focus on the words. Do you know? Do you have to wear that hijab, that scarf all the time, even in the summer? Don't you miss drinking and partying? How can you believe in a religion that oppresses women? Do you have to marry a Muslim now? What about your freedom? Can you still eat pork? Just a little bit. Why do you have to pray 5 times a day? Can't you just pray once? Don't you think you are betraying your family by converting or reverting to Islam? Are you going to start wearing a burqa now? That is abaya. Can you still be friends with non-Muslims? Don't you miss Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter? Can you believe in a religion that says that earth is flat? Are you being forced to convert by someone? That is very common. That is very common. Don't you think you are taking things too far by becoming Muslim? Can you still have fun and enjoy life as a Muslim? Reverted Muslims and born Muslims, they both should think about these questions. If a non-Muslim asks you these questions, what will be your answer? I'm going to share with you a very interesting video in which a reverted Muslim will tell her own story, that how the society teases her by asking these questions. Let's dive in.
Most ridiculous questions I've gotten asked since reverting to Islam. Number 1. So, do you love being oppressed? No, no one does.
Here, I would like to add some points that Islam does not oppress women. In fact, Islam elevates the status of women and grants them rights that are prohibited in some other societies. The Qur'an and Hadith emphasize the importance of treating women with respect, kindness, and equality. I can give you some examples. There are numerous rights for women. For example, rights to education, right to own property, right to work and earn a living. Just think about other religions as well. Just think about it. Right to marry and divorce, right to inheritance. Right to inheritance. Just focus on the right to participate in social and political activities. Have you ever heard about these rights in other religions? Just think about it. Yes, I would like to say something about some fundamentalists and extremists. They're not following the teachings of Islam. They're just following their culture. They're just following their own mindset. They're not following the teachings of Islam. They just implement the practices and the laws that discriminate against women. For example, forced marriages, limited access to education and employment, restrictive dress code, lack of legal protections against domestic violence. These are not based on the Islamic teachings, but rather on cultural and social norms that have been perpetuated over the time. Many Muslim scholars, activists, and organizations are working to change these practices and promote a more equitable and just interpretations of Islam. It is important, it is very, very, very important to distinguish between the teachings of Islam and the actions of some Muslims who follow their culture, who follow their cultures only. Islam itself does not oppress women.
Number 2. How do you have fun if you can't drink? The same way that, like, children have fun and everyone else has fun in the world who doesn't drink alcohol, you know, just going and living life sober with a clear mind.
This is what you believe, that you enjoy the life more when you are not in your senses. Because after taking alcohol, you just impair your senses.
Number 3. Oh, so now you worship a black rock? Google exists for many reasons.
Another question is, does Muslim worship a black rock only? No. Muslims do not worship a black rock. The black rock is the Kaaba stone, also known as Hajar Aswad, located in Makkah. It's a sacred site in Islam, but not an object of worship. In Islam, worship is directed solely to Allah, the creator, the sustainer of the universe. The Kaaba stone is simply a marker of the direction of prayer, and a symbol of unity of Muslims. Muslims face the Kaaba during prayer, but they do not worship the stone itself. Instead, they worship Allah only, who is considered the one and only God. Islam is a monotheistic faith that emphasizes the oneness of Allah and rejects all kind of shirk. The Qur'an, the holy book of Islam, clearly states that worship should only be directed to Allah. Say, He is Allah, who is one. Allah is eternal. He is neither begets nor is born, and nor is there to him any equivalent. So Islam is not about worshipping a black stone or any other physical object. It's about submitting to the will of Allah and living according to His guidance. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe my channel and share these videos with your friends, with your family, to teach them the true teachings of Islam, to tell them that Islam is not a restrictive religion. Islam is not a restrictive religion. I hope you like this video. Subscribe my channel for more interesting videos. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.